Okay, for 1 and 2, use the diagram. So it looks like there's a plane, and that the plane is called V. There's a line called G, and then there's a line called F. And the first question is, name 3 points that are collinear. So I'll take a look at the points, and it looks like there's the point S, there's a point T, there's a point R, there's a point Q, there's a point W. So I want to look for 3 that are collinear. It looks like R, Q, and S. There's a line going through all of those. So those are going to be my points. So R, Q, and S. Next, name a point that is not coplanar with R, S, and T. Okay, so I don't want it to be on the same plane as R, S, and T. So I find the plane. It looks like that blue plane that's called plane V. I see that there R, S, and T are on that plane, and I want to find a point that's not coplanar with them. And so I look up here. It looks like point W. So point W is going to be the one that is not coplanar with R, and S, and T. Alright, next, for 3 and 4, find the indicated length. Find UW. So I find the 2 points U and W, and I'm trying to find out how far it is from U to W. And I can see that the distance from U to V is 39, and I can also see that the distance from V to W is 26. So looks like I just have to add 39 plus 26. So I'll do 39 plus 26, I get 15, carry the 1, 1 plus 3 plus 2, 6. So 65 would be my answer. So from U to W is equal to 65. Alright, next it says to find BC, and it looks like the total distance from A to C is 42, and that the distance from A to B is 27. So I just need to subtract those, it looks like. So 42 minus 27, it looks like I'm going to have to borrow, so I change that to a 3, and I get 12 minus 7 is 5. 3 minus 2 is 1, so it looks like there's my answer. BC is equal to 15. Alright, next question says M is the midpoint of the segment, which means it divides it into 2 equal segments. Since they're equal segments, I can put an equal sign in between them, like that. And it looks like if I take away 7 x's from both sides, then I'll have nothing left on the left side of the equation, and I'll only have 1 x left on this side, and then I have a minus 6 right here. So I'm trying to think, some number x, if I minus 6, it equals 0. So what number is that? That's the number x must be 6, because 6 minus 6 equals 0. So it looks like that's my answer for this. And then I look back up here to see if I did the problem right, and I realize it says to find EG. So I'm not trying to find this. This isn't my final answer, so I'll erase that box. That's wrong. It's supposed to be EG. I'm trying to find from E to G. So first I'll find out how far it is from E to M. And it looks like from E to M is 7. Let's see. From E to M is equal to 7x. So that's equal to 7 times 6. Remember, the little dot means multiplication. And that's 42. And since from E to M is only half of the distance, that means the whole entire thing from E to G is going to be 2 times that, 2 times 42, which will be 84. And that is the final answer that I'm looking for. Alright, find the indicated angle measure. So the measure of angle QST, so it looks like it wants this whole angle that has a vertex at S, and it goes through Q, and it goes through T. Alright, so let me see here. How am I going to do that? It looks like there's this ray in between them, and so I can use betweenness of rays to add those 2 angles together. So I'll just do 52 plus 47, and that equals 9 and then 9. So it looks like there's my answer. the measure of angle QST is equal to 99 degrees. All right, use the diagram and find out the measure of angle WXZ. So let's find that. So X is the vertex. It goes through W and it goes through Z. Okay. Oh wait, that's not what I'm trying to find. Let's see, that's 80 degrees. So that pink angle right there is 80 degrees. So that one's 80 degrees right there. And I'm trying to find out the measure of angle YXZ. So let's see, where's that one? YXZ. So that would be this angle right here. That's the one I'm trying to find out. So it looks like it'd be good if I could find out what X is, because then I could just plug in X right here, plug in an X right there, and then I'll be able to get what 3x minus 5 equals. So let's see. I know that the two angles, they don't look equal. One looks bigger than the other one, so I'm not going to put an equal sign in between them. But if I add them together, I will get, whoops, I just said I wasn't going to put an equal sign. I did, erase that. If I add them together, then I get 3x minus 5. And that should all add up to 80, because the whole angle is 80. It said in the instructions up there. So I see that on the left side I have 4 x's altogether. And I have a negative 5 and a positive 5, so that means that adds up to 0. So I have just 4 x's on the left side, and that all equals 80. I see if I can divide both sides by 4 that I'll get the x equals 20, because 8 divided by 4 is 2. And so 80 divided by 4 will be 20. And then I'm not going to circle that because I'm not trying to find out what x is. Remember, I'm trying to find out what the measure of angle YXZ is. So I'm going to plug that in. So the measure of angle YXZ, I look up to the picture and I see that it's equal to 3x minus 5. And since I just found out what x is, it's 3 times 20 minus 5, and that's the same thing as 60 minus 5, and that equals 55. Alright, so given that WZ bisects angle XYZ, let's find these. Here's ray WZ, and it bisects angle XWY. So where's that? That's this angle right here. And then it says find the measure of angle XWY. Well, I can see it's bisected into two angles that are equal, and one of them is 52, so that means together it just must be 52 plus 52. So that's 104 degrees. There we go. So there's that one. Next one, these are complementary angles. That means that they add up to 90 degrees. So to figure out, well, the missing one, I'll just do 90 minus 43, find out what's left over. 7, that's 8, and so I get 47 degrees. And I just make sure that those really do add up to 90. Let me just do a quick check. 43 plus 47, get a 10, carry the 1, 9. Yep, they do. Okay, so 47 is the right answer. Angle 1 and angle 2 are supplementary angles for the next problem, number 10. Okay, that means they add up to 180. And since angle 1, it says right here, angle 1 is 125 degrees, I can just subtract that to find out, and I get 180 minus 125. Let's see, borrow from this column, get 5, 5, and then 1 minus 1 is 0. So that means 55 degrees for that angle right there. I can check that just to make sure that they really add up to 180. 0, carry the 1, 8, 180. Okay, and then this one, find the measure of angle DEG and the measure of angle GEF. I can see they form a linear pair because this side of the angle, of both the angles, forms a straight line. They're opposite rays. So that means that 18x minus 9, if that angle right there, if I add it to 4x plus 13, then it will equal 180. Running out of room. So let's see, if I have 18 x's and then 4 more, that adds up to 22 x's. And if I have a negative 9 and a positive 13, that adds up to positive 4. and that all equals 180 degrees. I'll take away 4 from both sides, and I'll get 22x equals 179. Oh, not 176. And now I have to divide both sides by 22. I'm going to guess, since 20 times 8 is 160, I'm going to guess that it's times 8. Let me see real fast what 22 times 8 is. 22 times 8, let's see, 16, carry the 1, 16 plus 1, 176. Yeah, that's what it is, it's 8. So if I divide both sides by 22, I get 8. And then that's not even the whole problem, because now I know what x is. I have to plug it in right here. So let's see. So the measure of angle DEG, that's going to be 18 times 8 minus 9. I don't even know what 18 times 8 is. Let me see here. Let me get 4, carry the 6, 144, and then minus 9. So that's going to be 135 degrees. And then I plug the 8 in. 4 times 8 is 32, and then plus the extra 13, I get that the measure of angle GEF is equal to 32 plus 13, that's 45 degrees. And then I just take a quick check. Do 135 and 45 degrees add up to 180? They sure do. That means I did this right.